The U.S. Matific Math Games are coming this February. Stay tuned at the end of the show to learn how you can have free access to the full Matific platform, and your school can enter to win up to $50,000 in cash and prizes, all while your kids learn about math. Change one simple thing to start your journey to remarkable teaching. Episode 246.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
I guess the challenge for me and probably some other listeners listening to you is to not feel incompetent compared to all that you're doing. I mean, it just seems like so much and so incredible and inspiring.
Well, I appreciate that, Vicki, but I will tell you that, I was just talking with some of our younger generation leaders who are lead coaches in the school division. And, we were talking about what's the next iteration of the work. And I was describing to them that we got here with a long-term commitment to stay on a course of really, if you want to call it progressive education, but really trying to really stay focused on that we're trying to educate kids for lifelong learning, not just simply to build a transcript, to take some tests, and to be able to walk across a stage. And we have a significantly low dropout rate and high on-time graduation rate in Albemarle. And I attribute it to the amazing teachers that are out there who, really have created, as one kid said to me, the sound studio that's in my high school, Dr. Moran, gets me back to school every day because I don't always enjoy all the classes that I'm taking. But I know that if I can go in that space and write my music and perform my music and share my music and just have that as a space that I can call my own, that it keeps me coming back and I don't have to check my creativity at the door. That really means something. And this is a kid that would probably, be struggling to graduate who's well on schedule to do that. I think that the thing that people have to be willing to do is to understand that saying about, that every journey of 1,000 steps begins with a first. What people have to do is be willing to put something into place, even if it's a small one step, because that step allows you to start to chunk and connect together the journey so that you are able to move. And some people move faster and some move slower, and some people kind of get stuck. But one of the things that I've really learned is that everybody has the potential to change something tomorrow. It could be something. I had a teacher say to me that one of the changes that she made that was one of the most simple, didn't cost a dime changes ever, was to really realize after we were talking about kids having the capability to make choices that make them comfortable as learners. She said, after I heard you talk one time, I let kids start to stand up in my class to work versus expecting everybody to be seated in their chair. And she said, I have some kids that are able to stay in class now that might have been put out of the room because they were, kind of inattentive or, acting out or whatever. And she said, just giving kids that option of, hey, if you want to stand up, stand up. What's important to me is that I, know that you're attending or working on this project or whatever. But if you want to sit on the floor, that's fine. If you want to stand, that's fine. If you want to sit at your desk, that's okay. It's that power shift of giving kids that control. And I think that even very simple actions can reap and reinforce the benefits and advantages of people taking a risk to shift that learning work to the kids and to give them some choice in how they're going to get things done and to ultimately be able to give kids the opportunities to explore things that are really of interest to them. You can't get from 0 to 60 without going through 5, 10, 40, and 50.
That's right.
No car does that. And I think that sometimes that, when we see the final sort of product of a school or a teacher or a school system that looks really good and has been done really well, it feels insurmountable
It does.
in terms of getting there. But I think that the most important thing is everybody can do something and can actually change something tomorrow.
They sure can.
You have to just simply have the faith in your children and in yourself that even if it doesn't go the way you expect it to, that if you take that risk and you try something and it does work, even if you have to go through it a couple different ways or times, that all of a sudden you start to have teachers feeling like, you know what, I have some autonomy here. I can actually make a difference for kids. And then you start to build that collective efficacy inside a school. And the next thing you know, you've actually shifted an entire culture around what learning really means. And that's I think, the piece that for me is that people just, they have to really begin where it's comfortable for them and be willing to push themselves a little bit. You don't get anywhere as a learner if you don't make yourself a little uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable that you just can't see yourself doing something like letting kids stand up versus sit down. So that's a simple one.
So educators, we've gotten so many great thoughts here. I guess the challenge I have for you is, first of all, to realize this. It's hard to think about Pam retiring because she is so at her peak, and I still feel like she's on her way up. And Pam, I'm going to send you a show link to my 89-year-old Learning Lab director that I just interviewed before Thanksgiving because she's still working full time. She came back to work not too long ago, and she's amazing. But you have so much to give, and I hope that you will take all that Pam has shared and then really apply it and get nuggets from it. And this is going to be one that I listen to and re-listen to because Pam is truly a remarkable educator and has inspired many remarkable educators in her district to be even better. So thank you, Pam, for all that you've done and for all your inspiration.
Always a delight. And as I say, I can't just hang it up. I think that I've said, hey, I'll come volunteer. I'll shelve books. I'll come in and read with kids. I'll do science with you. Let me know, what you need. And I'm going to be there, and it'll be a great experience. I just need to kind of downsize my life a little bit in terms of time in this job. But we've also, our board, real vote of confidence in the work we're doing, because the night that I announced that I would be retiring as superintendent at the end of the school year before July 1, they also appointed the deputy superintendent, Matt Hawes, who has led amazing work instructionally for the division as well as across some of our operational work. And so I announced my retirement, and they announced his appointment 2 minutes later, which I think was a real statement about, from our board level, as well as represented across our community, that the direction that we're going is the direction that our community values. And I think it's a great role model for anybody that is looking at how do we make sure that our kids are future-proofed, but also in the here and now are having wonderful educational experiences.
Yeah.
So, Vicki, thank you. And
thank you.
I hope that that we will continue to connect on Twitter and around here and there. And
for sure,
just value you and the leadership that you provide, and the sense of that education is not just a job for you, but it is truly something that you live and breathe in terms of serving kids well every day. And I just so appreciate you as an educator. So thank you.
Try Matific free now and participate in their math games at coolcatteacher.com/math. Now, Matific is a fantastic site full of math manipulatives, customized playlists of activities to help students at every level master math. This fun, gamified site is one I've been recommending for years. Now, the Matific games are here. Your students in the United States can compete to win prizes for themselves and your school as they gather stars by completing math activities. Sign up now for the Matific games at coolcatteacher.com/math. Setup is easy. Just send them your class rosters and they'll set you up in 24 hours. This is a great way to try out Matific, help your kids boost and study math, and have fun at the same time.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.